What's up, guys? It is Wednesday, February 1st. It's 7:45 a.m. and this is the crypto market update. So today's the big day. We have the FOMC meeting. Usually it happens, I believe, around like 2 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so New York time. So that's in about, let's see here, around 6 hours. And usually we see a lot of action that a couple hours before it, during it, that's for sure, and a couple hours after it. By that point, we've seen the dust settle and we know what the direction is. Every single time, I will tell you this, that the FOMC meetings of 2022 were disastrous. So volatile, whipsaw action, a bull side. It's not the type of action you want to be doing very high leverage on, or even any at all. It's better to let the dust settle or go quickly in, quickly out, because it moves so fast to both sides. So we're going to dive into the charts and see kind of how the charts are shaping up before this meeting and what could potentially play out. If you haven't already, click subscribe, hit the notification bell, get updated in real time when we release these updates. First off, I wanted to show this. We got this picture right here, and this is what we talk about all the time about the key market dynamics charts that we look at. We look at, firstly, the bond yields, then we look at the dollar, then we look at the stock market, then we look at Bitcoin. Based off of that, we're able to know what the overall direction of the cryptocurrency market may be. Then we can know if we should dive into altcoins or not. So that's how we're going about it. And I love seeing this chart. Bitcoin versus the dollar. The dollar is this right here in the black, and Bitcoin's with the regular candles. And you can just see the inverse relationship and the inverse correlation to a T. Look at when we spiked here. That's when we had our flash crash, COVID crash. And then we had our run up. And then we had our melt down. Then we had our melt up for the dollar. And we had 2 week buy nows flashing here on the Stargate signals. 2 week buy nows here, sell nows here, sell nows here. And we had sell nows here. And that we got 2 week buy nows and on Bitcoin. So the inverse correlation is so real, based off of just looking at this chart and seeing how it's just kind of a reflection, but also because with the Stargate signals, when the US dollar flashed a 2 week sell now, Bitcoin flashed a 2 week buy now. So that's how we can know the inverse correlation. And we can just look at this chart and see that to be the case. And here's the thing. Here's something that I want to mention. I'm on record as saying that I believe personally, not financial advice, that we could sure as well hit all-time highs this year. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we melted up in the dollar. It was crazy. Like, we melted up. I can't believe during like this time right here, Bitcoin stayed relatively stable. XRP stayed stable, that's for sure. But the dollar melted up. Look how far we are from these highs over here. It's just crazy because we melted up. We're like halfway through our meltdown. I'm telling you, if we keep going here and just keep melting down, we are going to recover so quickly to 40 to 50K. It's not even funny. And that's Bitcoin. Who knows what the altcoins will recover to? We could see XLM back at 20 cents, 22 cents, maybe even 30 cents. And that's not far off as far as the all-time highs. I had made a trading view like public idea, which is that the dollar is going to tank all the way until like 2026, 2027. And let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, so it's this idea right here. And I said boom for until 2029, more of 2027-ish, because that's where we find this first initial kind of bottom in the dollar. We have a little rise up, maybe one last rise for all asset prices, because the dollar has its last pull down into 2029, 2030. Then we kind of just range here. And then that's where there's a huge bust for asset prices. But we're seeing that play out. And you can just see in this picture here that I wouldn't be surprised to see the dollar pull down hard. And it's not just going to go straight line down. I mean, there may be a little bit of up downs in between, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull all the way down, break this line, pull even further down, and that is going to be a melt up like none ever seen before for crypto. That's how Bitcoin gets over 100K. And when Bitcoin's over 100K, we can't even speculate as to where these altcoins are at, especially if there's regulations in place that only list certain amount of altcoins on traditional kind of institutional exchanges where trillions of dollars will pour in. We can't even fathom it. I just see that being the case. There's going to be an event here, and we see a lot of news coming out about the dollar, and countries all over the world are trying to move away from it. There's going to be that seal of the deal event announcement that comes out that really just continues this meltdown for the dollar and puts the nail in the coffin for it for sure. Then we see a couple more pictures from Twitter. I had felt that this run, and I had put this in my video, I think last week, felt very eerily similar to that. There's, both sides of the coin. If this pump up that we just did feels very similar to 2019, whereas the length and time of like the drawdown and just like kind of the structure, it looks more like 2015. But anyways, this is what I believe is like, as much as there's so many signs and it feels like there needs to be a pullback, I don't know if the market's going to give one. I mean, I feel as if like the lowest would be 20K, 19,500, the lowest. And that's what, maybe 8-10% for Bitcoin. That's not too much in the grand scheme of things. I don't think and that's even if so, it could just hold these lows here around 23K and keep flying. I remember during this time in 2019, everybody was saying, oh, it's a fake out, it's going to pull back down. Then it went again. And they're like, oh, now it's going to go. And then it went again. Then they bought. So that's the scenario I don't want to see us kind of get ourselves into, where we sell thinking it's going to come down. It doesn't. It pulls up here. We're like, oh, it's going to come back down. And then it doesn't. And then we're chasing it up here. No bueno. That's not where we want to be. We switched our bias. We're macro bullish. And as long as we're maintaining the market structure of lows, highs, higher lows, higher highs, playing it level by level, or marking them off beforehand, then we're going to maintain the biases to the upside until we break certain levels. We had laid them out in the market update from a couple of days ago, and we came down that day and tanked a little bit, but we held the level. And now we're kind of grinding our way back up. And then there's this other last chart that I'm going to show before diving into the Stargate charts. And yeah, I mean, I've always thought that, we could still be in a bull cycle. Like, to me, this was just like so quick. And then it was just like a slow grind down. Like, I feel like this pattern is the same thing as this pattern, but just stretched out. And I'm kind of interested to look into that, see if that may be the case. But yeah, I feel like we have like 1, 2, and then the next one's going to be a big one. I don't think I feel like if we're comparing it to 2015, if I showed you right here. So if we're looking at what I was just referring to on the chart, what if we broke, this was our bear market, and then this is just so elongated. And this right there from like the 2016 and 2017 is what we just completed from like 2020 to 2023. And it stretched out way longer because and everything. Maybe that could be the case. And that's what kind of delayed a lot of things. And because a lot of things were expected to happen way sooner. Maybe this was a big delay for an ultimate just crazy run, right? That brings us to that great renaissance moment, stretches us out to 2025, 2027, and then we go into our big crash or something. That's definitely on the cards or on my radar. But as far as what we're seeing, there's a lot of things saying that overall market structure has changed. You can just see for the first time, and since back in April, we were red this whole time. We flipped green at this moment. But we're first going to start off with the bond yields. Take a look at it. Remember, we jotted these levels yesterday based off the 786s. Right now, we do see we broke down from that short-term trend line. But until we break either this horizontal line, and you can see to the right side of the chart here, the level. So take a screenshot, whatever it may be, and mark these levels, because these are the ones you want to watch. If we break them, then we revisit the chart and see where the retracement is right here. Then if we break up, we target the next one, break up, target the next one, level by level here. That's how we're doing it. Dollar chart, right? So I am on the 6 hour. we're seeing some good signs so far, but this candle doesn't close until the next 5 hours. So there's definitely time, because that's when probably around the Federal Reserve meeting when that the candle closes. So it definitely has some time to kind of pull some trickery over here. But I do like seeing this MACD flip to red. I do like the TSI kind of trying to get above the 0 line, but kind of curling back down below it right now. I do like seeing the stock RSI crossing down the 50 line. And I do like seeing the blue cross up above the pink right now. And the RSI is going back below the 50 line. That's on the 6 hour. We're also sitting, and if I go down to a lower time frame, like a 2 hour chart, you can see that we're sitting right at the 786 retracement from this low to this high, back down 786 retracement, the same horizontal line we drew the other day, and we're hovering at it right now. We also have this downwards trending resistance line like this, resistance, that I'm saying that if we break down and we break below the 786 and then ultimately the trend line here in these lows, we're going to 101.085, and cryptos will likely go on that big run again, go on another melt up. So that's what we're watching as far as this. We can even put a trend line like hit here, and we see a lot of convergence right there. I'll put one last 786 horizontal line there, that low to this high, and that's sitting right there where the bottom of the void line is. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for to break down from. We need to see that happen. If we hold where we're at right now, if I go to a 30-minute chart, if we hold this level and we start coming up here and breaking above this trend line, this descending or declining resistance trend line here, resistance, I could even probably pull it in a little bit more. We do see a prepare to buy soon on the 30-minute. Yeah, we see resistance. I want to see if we come up here, get rejected, and slam down to there and kind of meet this trend line again. And this kind of moved on me. Yeah, right there. Because if we break up above here on the 30-minute, reclaim the EMA ribbon and the horizontal line here, plus break this downwards trending resistance. So something like this, if we do something like this, we hold. Now it's looking like, okay, we're getting a shot to keep rallying here, and it's going to coincide with the meeting today. So we need to see, leading up to the meeting, how are these momentum indicators looking? At the moment, the 4 hour is crossing down, it's still dark red. The 6 hour about to cross down, but also we need to keep in mind the last times we've crossed down was short-lived. We've only seen a couple red, and then we kind of recovered. So we don't want to see that scenario happen. So we need to keep that on the radar, and we could be doing it right now. So let's go to the 12 hour and get another big picture look, because once the 12 hour crosses down, then we can say set in stone that the dollar is going to correct. Right now, we do see the MACD in the green. We do see the TSI crossed above, flatlining right now. Today's the day where it makes the decision, that's for sure, because the stock RSI is sitting right at that 50 line after crossing down. The blue does look like it wants to come up. The pink wants to come down, which means we'll stay bearish. And really, it's going to be the decider here, because if the meeting goes, well, as far as the market reacts positive to it, it's likely that the dollar broke down like that. And then now we're breaking high time frame horizontal support. Now it's like that meltdown scenario, which I had mentioned at the beginning of this, the idea that I had published, now is looking like more and more in the cards. And the hyper boom for crypto would be ushered in even faster and accelerated. I actually have a article saying that this bear market could have been the last bear market we've ever experienced, and that this bull market that lies ahead is the last opportunity for you to make generational wealth and life-changing gains to secure your future. Once this bull run is done, it's done. The opportunity has whizzled down, that's for sure, because the winners are already selected. But the framework, the clarity, the regulatory guidelines, the compliance, it's not laid out yet, but the winners have been picked. That's for sure. We know what they are. So we are 10 steps ahead, and being invested and knowing about this market right now, but being positioned in the right coins is so key, because this is the last opportunity. I fully believe it. I'm going to share that article today in the newsletter. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the dollar 12-hour chart. 6 hour. Let me actually check the 9 hour. I didn't check that. We do see a cross down. I want to see it. we'll know on the 12 hour by looking at the 9 hour, because the 9 hour will tell us, hey, if we're crossing down here hard, that's going to spill over into the 12 hour. Now we can kind of front run and maybe place some trades in crypto, knowing that, hey, the momentum's just dying off on the dollar. So that's what we're seeing there. The stock market. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. And we're still in that channel, just rising up here. I would say that I'm going to take this high down to this low. We need to come up here, break the 786. That's 12,150 to 12,200. Got to get above there, hold that support, and then ultimately come up here. So if we did something like this, broke up, held that support, then maybe come up to here, the 1618, which would coincide, well, from this high to this low, the breakout on that, but with this trend line too. Then if we could actually break above that, now we're talking the 2.618 extension, which is actually the 786 of this overall top down to the bottom, the 786 right there. So we're getting close. I mean, a move up to there is only about, 7%, 7.5% is pretty solid for the stock market, but we're getting close to, and we're at an area of resistance right now. But if this scenario pans out, that looks good for the stock market kind of flipping in the short term here, because that was that horizontal line where we had resistance and support. And then it looks like that's where our 200 moving average is, or very close to it. And we're ready to press up against the 200 moving average as we speak right now. So that chart that we have pulled up there is going to be very key to watch as far as the health of the stock market. If we go to the 3-day chart, we're getting ready to press up to the 200 moving average here. What I like to see is how these void lines are kind of opening up like that, like a big move's about to happen. And that's showing to the upside. But we're going to have to watch the levels, and we're going to have to take those resistances out before getting pretty excited here. But you've seen the Stargate signals in the Discord. We're flashing 2-week, 10-day, 3-week, 1 month buy nows. If you're not already in the Discord, come join the Discord. The link will be in the bio. But the macro is saying, hey, it's time to recover here. And even though the micro is a little overstretched, that can be the case, and we can just kind of keep going. A lot of people have that bear market trauma. They can't believe that it's going to keep going up. And usually it'll just leave you on the sidelines. I remember every single, the bear markets of, whenever we got that candle that broke us out of it, it was always like, oh, it's a bull trap every time. I remember it to a T. And that's why I feel like right now is reminiscent to 2019. All right, now let's finish it off with Bitcoin. Let's go to the 12-hour chart. All right, 12-hour chart right now is, we flipped EMA ribbon green. So EMA ribbon is green. We have our levels we need to watch. Let me see if I already have it on the Coinbase chart. Yes, thank God. I always try to find them. Like I have to draw them from scratch every time. But okay, so we have our levels here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So I'm on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. Our first horizontal level is at 22,850, and then it's at 22,700, and then we got it at 22,400. So you're looking on the right side here, that it's very key. We had marked those levels when we were back up here. We came down that day and we held support there. And so if we come back down, we need to hold support at 22,700. Absolutely. If we start breaking down to 22,400, start to get a little worried that we're going to come down here to 21,450 to ultimately from this low to this high 786. And then on the 4-hour chart, we have the 200 moving average coming up. That would probably serve as a good point for a potential long back up on a rebound. So like if we did kind of fill the 786, it might serve good as a long to kind of retest back up here. And at this moment, if we hit from this high to this low, the 786, and start curling over, we'll take a short, or we'll take our chips off the table from that long and we'll short. But if we start to break higher, hold that support, now we're holding on tight because we're ready to melt up again. That's definitely on my radar. But we know the levels to watch. I'd already outlined it, and I'll be in the Discord, real time while the meeting's going on and beforehand. So I'll keep you updated with the price movements. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. We can see a short-term trend building like that. And we can see we have this horizontal line right here too with the candle bodies doing like an ascending triangle. If I grab this to there, and we break above it. We got our target, which puts us right at that horizontal resistance that we said, hey, we need to get above. If we do, we hold the support. We're ready to rally hard. So that's what I'm watching. But it's going to be a volatile day. Let me just say that. We're going to see whipsaw action to the upside, to the downside. Usually we see like 3 go. So like usually like before the meeting, you'll see it say like go up. And then during the meeting goes down. And then like it somehow recovers like towards the tail end of the meeting. And then we see the true direction of how the market kind of responded to it, or vice versa. Either we go down towards the meeting, then we go up when the meeting like goes live, and then we end up kind of reversing during the meeting, and then we continue in our down direction. So it's going to be volatile. Just be prepared for it, but don't panic. We know the levels to watch for. We're watching the signals in the Discord, as well as we need to wait for candle body closes. Like I'm telling you, we've seen it a lot with all the macroeconomic data. When it comes out, you'll see like a wick, and it'll like sell off hard for like 10 minutes, and all of a sudden it's recovered. And then on the candle close, it's back up, and then you see it go. You don't want to get caught in that trap. So wait for candle closes, wait for confirmation. You know the levels, and you know that you can always message in the Discord for the double check, the smell check, I like to call it. Just be like, Rob, give me the smell check on this chart. What are you seeing here that I may be missing? Or tell me what you're seeing, and I might chime in. Do that. I'll respond back. And also, we have a group session tonight. So tonight at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we're doing a group session. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the monthly candle closes, because those candles closed yesterday. We're going to look at the monthly candle closes for all the channels that we got in the Discord for all those signals. And then we're going to try to identify what sector may be outperforming or showing signs of outperforming, and which coins out of those sectors are performing the best. So we can really kind of nail it going for February now. January was a blowout month. I'm going to send out an email campaign today to all the subscribers on the website. If you're not already subscribed on the website, come to the website, stargate-ventures.com. We'll put the link in the bio. But I'm going to send out an email campaign today of the January highlights, because it was unreal. Definitely January was a blowout month. I'm pretty hyped about it. I know a bunch of other people are. So we want to continue to keep that momentum. We can't get lackadaisical here. We can't get complacent. We got to get that creme de la creme for the fam, you know? I'm going to keep it at that. I'll see you guys in the Discord. If you're not already in there, come join it. The link's in the bio, and I'll see you in the next one.